ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, cool. I figured he was talking. Okay.
Oh, there's just kids back here.
Yeah. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Troy Track Select. This is the Select Few Sessions, and if you're watching, you are one of the select few. And here, coming to the stage, we have, the right page, the Laura of legend, the writer where rumors roam, the Kitty Corleone, coming off of her latest album, Dust Cinema. To dust we shall return. It's Laura K. Balke.
Thank you, Troy. I think that's the best intro I've ever had in my life. We're going to play a song now called Remind You. It's the first song on the album I just released called Dust Cinema. Another day I get out of bed and I can't find you. Of all the days to shut me down, you choose the one that you're bleeding out. There's no time to waste. Our feet are sliding on into the grave, and I was gonna remind you. Congratulations, you did it. A life sober now that you can't live it on safari in your mind. Looking for answers you'll never find. There's no time to waste. Our feet are sliding on into the grave, and I was gonna remind you. There's no time to waste. Our feet are sliding on into the grave, and I was gonna remind you. Thank you so much. All right, this next one is called Lord Willing. Give me a reason to love it. Give me some way to dream of it. As I'm spinning out, about to break down, Lord willing. Give me a season to change with. Give me a time frame so I can outlive it. As I'm spinning out, about to break down, Lord willing. As I'm spinning out, about to break down, Lord willing. Thank you so much. All right, got some more tunes for you about really fun topics like depression. Here we go. It's my birthright, this black hole in me. don't need, darling, anything. It's my birthright. I saw the water sea. You can never drown, but you can never dream. It's my birthright, far as the eye can see. There's a fertile land, but not a single seed. It's my birthright. I could be anything. Don't need, darling, anything. I could be anything. You don't need, darling, anything. It's my birthright. Thank you so much. This next one, so far we're just playing through the album. That's Cinema, a new album I just released a little bit ago. This next one's called I'll See You in Hell, and I wrote it about gender essentialists. Wouldn't you like to be something more than just skin deep in a world of mystery? You recoil and you shrink. I see you in hell when I'm looking down at the cage you built for yourself. You think it's divine, but you're the only one who's chained to these flags. I see you in hell. I know you wanna reduce me, but we're stronger every day. You're mopping up the ocean, but you can't stop the waves. I see you in hell when I'm looking down at the cage you built for yourself. You think it's divine, but you're the only one who's chained to these lines. I see you in hell. You know it's never too late to open up the gates. I'll see you in hell when I'm looking down at the cage you built for yourself. You think it's divine, but you're the only one who's chained to these lines. I see you in hell. Thank you so much. Okay, we're gonna play another one from Dust Cinema. This one's called Bird's Eye. Thank you for being excited, Isaac. Appreciate that. All right. I look for you, but I can't find you anymore. You're lost at sea, and I'm anchored to the shore. I see you pass by, but don't remember what you're named. 'Cause I am a stone, and you're crashing like a wave. that mean I'm free? Does that mean I'm finally free? Muting myself until you cannot control me. I look in the mirror and I don't see you anymore. There's no pleasure now, just the same unending drone. It's some comfort when I remember I'm alone. Like a steady friend, it will always call me home. Does that mean I'm free? Does that mean I'm finally free? Muting myself until you cannot control me. Does that mean I'm free? Does that mean I'm finally free? Muting myself until you cannot control me. Thank you so much. So now we're going to take a little detour. We're going to play a song called Ghouls. Released it a couple years ago. Made a fun music video. Eric Fox is on the drums. He played all kinds of ghouls in the music video. It's a guy with a rabbit head and an antique paper mache mask and a mummy. Yeah, I handmade a mummy costume out of like medical gauze, and it ended up costing much more money than a real mummy costume or a real mummy. I don't know. Can you buy this? So don't do that. All right, I start this. The ghouls are out tonight with their snake oil and artificial light. They tell you everything is alright if you'll just put your light. Step up, step inside. I'm sure you feel fine, but can you ignore the death when you're connected by a straight line? The ghosts are out tonight, but you can't see them if you don't believe it's true. So go on and close your eyes, like there's no way their ends will ever find you. I'm sure you feel fine, but can you ignore the death when you're connected by a straight line? Ghouls are out tonight. Thank you so much. All right, now we're to a song called Dust Cinema. It's a title track from the album that I just released. And I was having some really bad thoughts, so I just wrote a song about it, Stream of Consciousness. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on this song until these words are meaningless. So I did that, and now it's just a fun little bop. Ready? Maybe I'll die in my sleep. Maybe I'll crash my car. Maybe I'll catch a disease. Death is never very far. Maybe you forgot about me. Maybe I don't know who you are. Maybe you caught the disease. They still haven't found a cure. 'Cause I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. And it's not your fault. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. It's my default. I spend too much time in my head. I thought the voices were my only friends. I'm in a movie watching dust collect, and I bet I know how it ends. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. And it's not your fault. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. It's my default. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. And it's not your fault. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. I'm alone again. It's my default. Nice. Cool ending. It's fun to play in a band because they do an ending that you might not have anticipated. Okay, we have another song that's not on the album, released it a couple years ago. It's called Contrite, and released it with a music video that we made at the Selfie Museum in Indianapolis. Sadly, it's no longer there. So if you want to see the Selfie Museum, look up this song. What's a day when you don't feel contrite? It's just a day when you don't open your eyes, and I'm tired of my own mind. What's a day when you don't feel sick? It's just a day when your brain's ignoring it, and I'm tired of my own mind. I am doing fine. I say it all the time. What's a day when you can see the light? It's the beginning of the rest of the night, and I'm tired of telling myself lies. What's the part where your ship will come in when you become a remote island, and I'm tired of solitary confines. I Thank you. So this band, we also have a version of this. It's a country band, same players. It's called Laura Kay and the Bootleggers, and this is one that we actually play in both bands. It's a fun, versatile song. No one knows where it goes. It's called Spiral. Tonight I felt that first pull down into an old spiral. I'll only know how far it goes when I hit the bottom. I'm trying to wrestle something from the jaws of life. I'll stay if you stay, honey. I'll go with you if you drive. I've got a lot of debts, and now they're coming around to collect. I used to run, I made them sweat. Now I sit here and I take it. I'm trying to wrestle something from the jaws of life. I'll stay if you stay, honey. I'll go with you if you drive. Trying to wrestle something from the jaws of life. I'll stay if you stay, honey. I'll go if you drive. I'm trying to wrestle something from the jaws of life. I'll stay if you stay, honey. I'll go with you if you drive. Thank you. I want to take a minute to introduce the band because I always think I'm going to do it during a song, and then I never do. Rockin' too hard. We've got Isaac Vining on the keys. That's right, tickling the ivories. We've got Nick Traeger on the bass guitar. We've got Eric Fox on the drums. Oh, nice. And Brian Robeson on lead guitar. So thanks for hanging out with us. This is a beautiful night. There's even a breeze going to help with the sweat that's happening. It's perfect, actually. All right, this one is called Wildflowers in Your Mind. I wrote it to myself as a little kid who was a weirdo. Oh, weirdo. Still is. Let's do it. The universe wants to show you something beautiful. It's for your eyes only, the perfect receptacles to grow wild flowers in your mind. You don't have to show them the beauty in the weeds. Trust me, they're gonna know it when you walk down the street. You've got wild flowers in your mind, and you contain all your kindest wishes and every good dream. I know you think you've lost them, but it's in your muscle memory. You still got wild flowers in your mind. You've still got wild Thank you. All right, we're back to playing Dust Cinema songs. We got a couple more for you. Good to go? All right. This song's probably about dissociation. Whatever gets you through is what I like to say. I feel nothing, and I feel nothing about that. 'Cause when I feel something, those are the worst days that I've had. Ooh, I feel nothing, and it almost makes me glad. 'Cause when I felt something, those were the best days that I've had. How about that? I can't keep up with the way the world is spinning these days. It'll drive me mad. I feel nothing, and I'm liking it like that. 'Cause when I felt something, I would always jump the tracks. Ooh, I feel nothing. Now I can finally relax. 'Cause when I feel something, I let that devil on my back. How about that? I can't keep up with the way the world is spinning these days. It'll drive me mad. I feel nothing, and I feel nothing about that. 'Cause when I feel something, I let that devil on my back. How about that? Well, I can't keep up with the way the world is spinning these days. It'll drive me mad. So I feel nothing. Yeah, I feel nothing. Hey, do you happen to have a pick? Oh, no, here's my pick. You got it? Yeah. Yeah. Picks grow in the ground, apparently. When you drop them, they start to grow. Why did you laugh at that? Really? Don't laugh at my jokes. They're really bad. Stop. Okay. Yeah. We have one more song, and I'm never going to be able to pull it together if this band doesn't stop making jokes that are horrible puns. Okay. And that's why they're good, because they're so bad they're good. I just want to say, Troy, thank you for having us. This has been so awesome. Never played a show like this, so thank you so much. We actually do have just one more song. Yeah, we got one more for you. We've got one more for you. You can still dance, and I really hope you do. That's a great outfit. I love it. Okay. Well, let's go. We still got one more song for you. All right. Ready? Let's go. We got somebody dancing. That's right. I was just trying to get by, and now I can't escape the confines of my life, and it's got me in a way. I'd rather be anywhere else with you, off of any highway, in any motel room, anywhere else with you. They don't know our names, let's set fire to the rear view. Every day's the same. I can't stop dreaming of my whole life running too fast to see the world go by. I'd rather be anywhere else with you, off of any highway, in any motel room, anywhere else with you. They don't know our names, let's set fire to the rear view. Forget about the future, never learning from the past. And I'll go back if you will, 'cause nothing's gonna last. I'd rather be anywhere else with you, off of any highway, in any motel room, anywhere else with you. They don't know our names, let's set fire to the rear view. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I loved the dancing. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, happy birthday! That's so awesome. Have a great birthday. All right. What happens now? I guess we're done? Okay.
Hey everybody, well, that's always hot. Everybody, thanks for coming. We're gonna reset for a short interview very soon, and we'll see you in like 10 minutes. Peace.
It's at Laura K. Balke.
All right, you will follow this wonderful band at Laura K. Balke. That is LauraKBlake, Laura K. Balke. You can also follow the Select Few Sessions at Mr. Track Select. Again, you can follow the Select Few Sessions at Mr. Track Select. All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
All right, everybody, let's give it up one more time for Laura K. Balke. Shout out, man. So, I always start this off the same way, and I always ask the artist if we were able to meet in person, which we did initially. Do you remember where we first met or how we first met?
I have a very bad memory, but I remember talking to you at length at the Garage Food Hall. However, I don't remember if that's where we first met.
Yeah, so that's correct,
Okay.
actually.
All right.
I wasn't sure if you remember because it was a long time ago.
It was, but that was really fun to meet you.
Yeah. We were at the Garage because there was a Sunday session, and Musical Family Tree was there hosting these at the time. So we were eating with like Grant McClintock, who this is the second time he's gotten a shout out on here, because I think you're the second artist that I kind of found out sort of kind of through Musical Family Tree, indirectly, directly, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, super great time, and I'm glad that that's kind of how it went. And then eventually I got to see you do your own Sunday session,
Yeah.
like maybe 2 years or so ago. It was a while ago.
It was 2023 because that's when I got my band back together
Okay.
and started playing shows again.
All right then.
Yeah.
Well, shout out. So I think maybe we'll start it off like that, right? There's been quite some time between your most recent album, Dust Cinema, and your last one, which I believe was Rumors and Legends, the way that you've
Yes,
described it
correct.
in different places. So even on your description on your album, Dust Cinema, you say like it's been 15 or so?
14 years, yeah.
So what led to that hiatus?
Well, I started going to therapy in 2023 because my life was finally starting to look up, and so I've been kind of wrestling with a lot of things. So I feel like I have kind of pinpointed several things, and the reason why I was able to start going to therapy was because I got health insurance for the first time in my life. So shout out to getting health insurance. But to be honest, a couple of my close music friends died a year apart. So that really tanked me, quite honestly. Like a singer-songwriter friend of mine named Joshua, 2013, and I was on tour with a friend of mine who ended up dying a year later. So yeah, and I never processed all of that because I was on tour when Joshua died, who's from Indianapolis, and you can still look up his music, you can still listen to it and find it online. And then my friend Chad plays in the Dead Records, or played, and so you can still find his music online too. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about music is it stays up forever, at least as long as there's the internet. But yeah, that really kind of tanked me. And I was burnt out from touring. That's another aspect. I had been doing DIY touring for like 2 years. 2 years straight. So I was touring on Rumors and Legends, just trying to like just go, 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 go. And then I was having all these really, really extreme, heavy emotional things happening in my personal life. And it was just like, whoa, that just burnt out hard for a long time. So yeah, it's heavy. It's not very fun. But then that's all of those concepts are explored on Dust Cinema too. That was kind of the concept behind that album, was just working through it via songwriting.
Yeah, so even in that, you say, I think on Bandcamp, you're like, this is kind of an album of negative thought patterns that you were going through. And then you said some of it we'll talk about, you know, why it was such a long time between my last release, full album release, and this one. So I'd like to ask the question, like, where does the name Dust Cinema come from?
Well, the origin of it is I was using this Arturia Mellotron, like a virtual Mellotron.
What is a Mellotron? Let's go ahead and ask that.
So I don't know if I'm going to be able to describe this correctly. It's like a keyboard, and it has a bunch of little tapes that have like samples of different sounds. So like some of the classic ones that you'll hear on the Beatles is the flutes. Like the Mellotron flutes are just a classic sound that you'll hear. But the cool thing about a Mellotron is because it was actually on tape, and so you would like trigger the sample, and then you know, it would deteriorate.
Yeah.
So it would start to get really weird and wonky sounding. So that's a very cool thing about using a virtual instrument like the Mellotron, is out of the gate it already sounds kind of weird and a little bit off. So it doesn't sound quite so canned. So I was using this Mellotron, kind of a virtual Mellotron, all over my album, and there was a sample that was called Dust Cinema, and it was one of those phrases that just got stuck in my head. I was like, what a phrase. This feels like what I'm doing. It feels so kind of pointless and so, I don't know, just raging into nothingness to be making these songs about, I don't know, the cycle of being depressed or struggling with anxiety. It just felt like a movie no one was ever going to see, like something obscure, something too small and too insignificant. So anyway, that was rolling around my head, and then I was writing the song Dust Cinema, and it was informing my songwriting as I was kind of dealing with those thoughts, and the phrase Dust Cinema kind of wrote itself into that song. So everything was sort of reinforcing each other.
Yeah, I think it's a really cool album title. I think you're 2 for 2 on that. I think Rumors and Legends is a really cool album title. I think Dust Cinema is as well. It made me think of, there's a physics term, and this is the most scientific we're ever going to get on this show. I think it's called the Tender Principle. Let me see. Oh, we went back a few pages. There it is. It's called the Tyndall effect, or tidal effect. I don't know. But the point is, it's where you see like dust particles in the air through beams of light.
Oh, I
You've
love
ever been in like
that.
an old house somewhere, and through the window you see the
Yeah.
dust. So that's what I thought about when I would see the title Dust Cinema. And I just needed to know what it was actually called. And funny enough, Twitter just kind of read my mind and showed it to me. So
That's really cool. I love that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that term.
yeah, it's if you go to school for any STEM type stuff you have to learn about, stuff like that, and then you never talk about it again unless you do a show like this and you say,
Yeah.
"Well, you know what? I went to school." So, yeah. So then, within Dust Cinema, you have a lot of instances where you use the word "you" a lot, as if you're talking to someone. Sometimes maybe even talking to yourself. Who are some of the different people that you're speaking to?
I'm
here?
almost always talking to myself. So, I mean, I do feel like I've historically been a very compartmentalized person. And so it's about exploring why that is, different parts of myself that I've shut off. For example, like Bird's Eye, that song is about shutting off a part of myself that allows me to experience joy and happiness, because that feels it doesn't feel reliable. So the safe thing is to just shut it off and just go in this zone where all you're doing is like working or losing yourself in a project. You're not allowing yourself to experience things that could be taken away, like joy and happiness. So I'm usually talking to different parts of myself, but there are a couple of songs, that are kind of written to people, my friends that have died, kind of just stream of consciousness, like what I would say to them, thinking about being a musician, thinking about the lifestyle where it doesn't lend itself to taking care of your body or your mind. So just thinking about being in this position where I'm still alive, but these certain people aren't, and it doesn't feel fair, and I just kind of wish I could talk to them sometimes.
I think, are you someone who goes after something that's consistent? I guess with kind of how you're talking about joy being something that can be taken away, but you go towards something where you just can grind at something. Do you think that's like just a control thing?
Oh, it's 100% a control thing. Like with the album, I was the only person that worked on it because I wanted to just have that total control, and I lost myself in it. So for months and months. But that's a nice thing too, to kind of have a project to
You're doing
just,
something.
like you said, and you have the control over it even if you get lost in it. Yeah.
So yeah, is that how long you were kind of spending the time writing on this, or are some of these songs that have been like something in your notebook for years, or all new stuff?
So it's all from 2023 to about when I stopped. I did write a couple more. I think the last one that I wrote was Wildflowers in Your Mind, which was, I don't know, maybe last November.
Okay.
But most of them were from 2023 and early 2024. Actually, all of them, but Wildflowers in Your Mind. And I was like, oh, I finally wrote not happy, but maybe things are looking up. That's the closer.
Well, I think you mentioned this earlier, if you're talking about your album process. Somewhere you wrote, for this album in particular, you started using Logic and you were new to Logic. I guess, and then you said you wanted to make sure that you kept some of the weird decisions that you made when you were first using it, rather than like what you might have done later. So what are some of those weird things that are there now that, like, after you figured out how they actually work, you
There's so many. Well, for one thing, I was making demos in Logic since 2023, and then 2024 was when I was just like, okay, this is the album. I started sequencing it in the spring of 2024. So I had it sequenced, and I was like, all right, we're going to start really dialing in. And then Logic came out with a session keyboard player and session bass player. And so I generated these parts with the session keyboard player, and then I was like, that's way too clean. We got to get way weirder. And so I started putting things through the session keyboard player that should never go through the keyboard player, like a cello.
I gotcha.
Or like and then if there was kind of a clean piano part, I was like, oh, how do we mess this up? I'd never used the plugin, so I'm just clicking around. And there was the first distortion plugin I started using was called Bit Crusher, and it just kind of made it really strange, like a video game. And it was just, I was having fun. I was trying to like have fun, let myself have fun, and then retain that joy, because I feel like a lot of writing music for me is heavy, but I was like, we're just getting weird and having fun, so let's keep that weird thing that you did.
Yeah. Well, then I guess on top of that, you mentioned like getting rid of a lot of gear, not using a lot of gear for this album. So I guess what are some things that you let go of, and then what are some things that you like, okay, this is what I'm using on this record and nothing else?
Yeah, well, I let go of everything because even I ended up using my scratch tracks from my demos.
Okay.
So I thought I'd replace all that stuff. I was playing like an acoustic. I had this amp that I found probably 2023 at the Goodwill outlet. And it's this tiny little amp. I don't even know how big the speaker is, maybe 8 inches. But because I live in an apartment, I have upstairs, I have all kinds of neighbors. It would get really nasty at really quiet volumes.
Okay.
So I was just doing all kinds of stuff where that's the only amp I used on the album. And it's a pretty guitar heavy album, was that little tiny practice amp. I have like a nice vintage Fender amp, but I was like, no, we're going 100%, like, I was trying to limit myself as much as possible so that I wouldn't get lost in all of the options that I had, and so that it would be kind of nasty. Like, I wanted it to sound nasty because it was not about, it was about nasty things, It's about this side of me that I don't necessarily like. So I wanted that to be represented in the music too, like the way it sounded.
Yeah, so I guess speaking of some of the different sides of yourself, there's a song on here, and it might have been Bird's Eye. Let me see. No, Drive You Mad.
Oh, yeah.
So you kind of talk about being deeply apathetic about like everything and not really caring about anything, because when you did, it was just a terrible time. So I guess was there a immediate switch to you kind of don't feel anything?
Well, that was interesting because I was actually in therapy when that happened, when I wrote that song, and I talked to my therapist, and I was like, this really weird thing happened where I almost felt like I was like sliding into a bad place. And then it was actually a protective measure, I think, where I was just like, nope, just shut it up. And I wrote that song just stream of consciousness. But it was, about the high highs and the low lows, and just wanting to like not experience any of that because both of them are so exhausting. Just wanting to kind of like sort of protect myself by shutting everything off, and even for a day, even for writing, and that's what songwriting and music production is for me most of the time. It's just a way to kind of shut everything out but what I'm working on. So I don't know, it gets meta.
Are you at a point now where you kind of allowed yourself to feel some things?
Oh, I do. That was one day where I was like, all right, yeah. I mean, I just think I have I was able to get a healthier view on a lot of things. I mean, specifically death, but like just kind of changing my mindset about the way I thought about things, and kind of dealing with past trauma and working through that stuff has been super helpful. So I'm really not in a lot of the places I was writing about when I was writing these songs. It's not that I'll never go there again, but I have a lot of healthy coping strategies now and better ways of looking at things.
I guess what are some of those new strategies that you use to not slide back into that?
That's such a good question. So I have been meditating for a couple of years. That's very helpful if I just feel overwhelmed. I have some close friends who I'm able to just FaceTime and get on the phone immediately, and that I always kind of felt like a burden in the past, but kind of opening up to them about things I've dealt with, like just talking to someone who knows you. And again, being in therapy has been very helpful, but also being open with my friends and being able to just make a call and have them say, no, you're fine. That's normal. Why are you stressing about that? Why are you about to spiral into anxiety over something that doesn't matter? Like, you've got this. Has been really helpful. So tapping into friendships, getting health care has been huge. Seeing a psychiatrist, I take medication for ADHD now. That's been super, super helpful. Never had that until last year. So yeah, got all the doctors now, leaning on my friends, meditating, staying in therapy, all that stuff.
I'm finding a lot of people never want to feel like a burden on others, so they don't want to bring up some of the things that they're going through. I have some friends now who's like, I just happen to know some stuff I'm not supposed to.
Right.
But they haven't brought it to me because they're always kind of like that. They're always kind of like putting themselves second. But it can put you in a predicament, unfortunately. But I'm glad that you're able to lean on some community now.
For sure. It's been a game changer, just having people like friends who I can talk to because they know, people that know me, that I trust know me, that can just smack some sense into me, over the phone, of course, not physically,
sure.
not physically, just like, what are you doing, Laura?
So I guess in kind of breaking free of some of the constraints of feeling like one's a burden and breaking free of that isolation, on Bird's Eye you talk about breaking free of something. What were you trying to get away from?
I actually know exactly what I was trying to get away from, and I didn't expect to talk about this tonight, but we'll do it. Let's go there. I hate not answering a direct question. I grew up in a very, very conservative home where femininity meant one thing, masculinity meant one thing, and for me it was like, oh, well, femininity, that means that someone can control you. You have to submit. You have to basically have these tiers of authority over your life. And so that's the part of myself that I had cut off. Just things that I had perceived as feminine or perceived as a weakness that might allow someone to have some kind of control over my life. I was thinking about my mom when I wrote that song because she's just imparted so much joy to me, even within those structures, but then thinking how I don't let myself experience that joy that I was kind of handed down from her because it doesn't feel safe. So it's just well, you've cut yourself off from all of this. Are you free now? No. You're just as miserable as ever.
It's weird. I also, when I was younger, felt like being very giddy about things was not for others, maybe for others, but for me especially, kind of corny or goofy and maybe sort of childish. So I really felt I shouldn't let myself be surprised or super, super duper excited about things. I don't know why, just kind of randomly out of nowhere. But it is a very constricting place to be, I think. I think everyone who just allows themselves to be happy is in a much better off position.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Well, I mean, so I know we're still kind of playing with this, but you say it feels unsafe, but have you been playing a dangerous game and allowing yourself to feel
I have been really trying, and I actually this is such a ridiculous thing to say, but I think that I learn a lot about myself when I'm working on music and my own songs and my songwriting. And I have an album that, the next album that I have planned. And so I feel like once I tackle that, I don't know, there's going to be some kind of catharsis and healing in it, which, I don't know, it's kind of the way I do things, I guess. It really does help me. In addition to all the things I talked about, you got to do those things too. You can't just rely. Music is not therapy. It helps a lot, but yeah, I feel like I really need to kind of explore the things that we were talking about, and I have an album concept that's going to be going into that'll kind of help me work through it, because Dust Cinema helped me work through a lot as well as I was working on it.
Well, I guess different ways to express yourself are always good. I noticed that with each one of your album releases, you've been very intentional about like interesting physical releases. So I guess what made you put that sort of energy towards, I guess, giving something to someone to hold on to? With Rumors and Legends, it was a note, like a CD that was a sketch book of like all the songs, lyrics, but crafted in a drawing of some kind. And I think with this one, it's like a collage.
Yeah, and I actually wanted to bring one to you, and I didn't, but I'll mail one to you if you give me your
Cool.
address. Yeah, so I find that it's really helpful for me to bounce between like creative projects. Uh, it gives my like that part of my brain that's working on music, it gives it a break, and then it kind of dives into a different part of my brain. But yeah, with the collages that I've been doing, it's been really nice and kind of comforting to have something so sort of repetitive and creative visually that I mean, working on it feels totally different than working on music. And so for me, if I'm bouncing between three projects, that's when everything is going for me. You know, it's like get a music video mixed in there, and it's just like everything starts to come together. Like they all inform each other. Like the concepts I've had for music videos actually started informing how I was working on the songs. Like there are song parts that I put in some of the songs on Dust Cinema because I'm like, well, I'm going to do a music video and it's going to be like this. And I want it to sound like this in the music video.
Yeah.
And also it allows me to kind of take back the narrative. Like when I wrote those songs, the narrative meant one thing, and that meant that I was experiencing these thoughts or feelings that I really didn't want to experience. But I feel like I'm basically tinkering with what those songs mean to me now, and doing that through like art and music videos, the collages, the music videos I have planned. It's like, no, I'm going to change the narrative. I get to decide what these songs mean. And yeah, I feel like even with the collages, I ended up using a lot of photos like from my childhood and kind of trying to become a whole person, trying to let that little weird girl out again and let her inform also what I'm doing, not shut that part of me off.
Yeah. I think I should explain this better. Each one, there's 100 physical CDs, and each one of them is different than the other in terms of visual presentation. I want to make that clear for everybody who ends up looking at this.
Oh,
so if you get something, a CD, it is different than every single other person who has that same CD.
Yeah, each one has a unique collage, and it's made out of photographs I printed up and just cut up. And
Cool.
yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah. I think that's the main portions of what I want to talk about. I guess there's one last, which was on Lord Willing. You have a chorus that says, I'm spinning out, about to break down, Lord willing. And it seems like you are, most people pray to hold it together, but it seems like you are asking for the permission to fall apart. Is that what was going on there?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of this, again, all the songwriting is stream of consciousness. I usually change my lyrics quite a bit. I like to tinker. I like to get into the craft of songwriting, and I didn't do that on this album at all. It's all stream of consciousness. So a lot of that, like I was raised very, very religious, and so that stuff just kind of it's in there. It just kind of comes out in stream of consciousness. But I think I was thinking about how many times I've heard the term Lord willing, like there's a set plan for your life. But the only time I've ever heard Lord willing about the Lord's will was when something good was going to happen. Like, oh, we'll leave tomorrow for vacation, Lord willing.
Yeah.
And it came out that way, but then I just thought it was so funny that it was like, yeah, it was kind of like, and this is like the part of me that I don't like, that, because it was just like, I want so badly to just fall apart. I am always so held together, and I'm so exhausted, and I just want to fall apart. I just want to tank my life. I just want to not do this anymore because of the exhaustion. So, yeah.
That's a lot. It's hard to hold it together all the time. Okay. Well, this is the part where I always allow some of the audience members to ask a question. So I'm going to look around. Is there anything that anyone would like to ask? That's cool. I understand. We're in a different sort of atmosphere today. Okay. Well, there it is.
Yeah.
What is one, like you've been in therapy, what's one piece of advice that you got from your therapist that's like stuck with you? And then like why did it stick with you?
Oh, that's a good question.
What is a piece of advice that your therapist gave that stuck with you?
Oh, that's such a good question. And of course, she's on maternity leave right now, so I haven't seen her in a minute. You know, I would say it's not exactly, it's something we've talked about a lot, my therapist and I. It's actually the thing that I'm kind of really wrestling with right now, the concept of embodiment. Because I haven't lived in my body very much, and that's what Dust Cinema is actually about, living in my head. But the concept of embodiment and like trying to bring yourself back to your body. And so I don't know that there's one piece of advice, but I have been listening to a couple of audiobooks about that concept, about sort of, because, you know, also the culture that I grew up in, is very much about the responsibility of your body is, you know, like causing men to stumble, like you just existing as a woman is a ticking time bomb, and it's your fault when bad things happen to you because you have a body, and men might have thoughts about that. And so I would just say the entire concept of embodiment, of trying to bring myself back to my body, say that this is my body, like I own it, it's mine, I was born with it, it's what I got. Yeah, that's it. It's a good, I mean, there's a lot of literature out there, there's a lot of good audiobooks if anybody's interested. Just search the term and talk to your therapist about it. That's what's next, actually, and that's why I feel like it's going to be really powerful for me to work on that album, and it's going to be really healing for me. Yeah.
Cool, man. Okay. Any new musical frontier you want to explore?
Oh, okay, actually, yes, and it's not going to be, I don't know that it's going to be with my music as Laura K. Balke, but I have a friend. Maybe it's weird to say this on the mic, but my friend Co Newborn, incredible musician and songwriter. I admire her work so much, and she just reached out to me. She was like, "We should do an electronic music project," and I'm like, "Yes."
That's fun.
Because I don't know how any of it works.
Than what you've done before, yeah.
And I have a little mini MPC, which is a drum machine. So it's just like, yes, that sounds so fun. That sounds like the frontier I've been waiting for. So yeah, that might be in the cards. I really hope it is.
Cool. Okay. Well, I think that's it for us tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for coming to see us, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Peace.
Thank you.